We meet again at Silverstone for one of the great Formula One races of the entire calendar. With a barely believable capacity crowd creating a phenomenal atmosphere, it is time for a race that puts a smile on your face. It is time for the British Grand Prix. Silverstone Circuit is comprised of 18 corners, 3.6 miles, with DRS detection zones at Village and Maggots. Your overtaking opportunities at the end of the Wellington and Hangar Straights. You've got to be brave on the throttle in order to succeed here. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Phoenix lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ocon, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Hamilton, Liam Lawson, Leclerc, Sainz, Villeneuve, Albon, Bottas, Sargent, Stroll, Hauger, Joe, Ricciardo, Perez, Tsunoda, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. We should talk about Williams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going. Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're learning the gears, so let's go through them all if you can. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Copy. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights. Copy that. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 5.5 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're in 13th place. Russell behind. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. lap of the race. Okay, Russell's behind you now, and the gap behind us is 4.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 3 laps old. We think they've got one more stop, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 35.1. They're in 10th place. The difference is 10.2 seconds. Your last lap time was a 1:35.8. Gap to your teammate behind is 10.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're in 11th. Time last lap was a 1 minute 35.2. Please repeat, you're breaking up. Russell behind. We're leading the car behind by 8.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:35.4. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 13.2 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're 8th. Your last lap time was 1 minute 34.9. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind. 7.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:35.2. And so the difference is 17.1 seconds. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 36.0. Okay, car behind trailing us, 8.4 seconds. Looks stable at the moment, no rain currently expected. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. didn't receive that. Repeat the message, repeat the message. Russell behind. Okay, push, push. Gap to the car behind. 11.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:35.4. Gap to your teammate behind is 16.7 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're 8th. Time last lap was a 1:35.5. Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy. Your pit window doesn't open for more than 20 laps. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 13.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 12 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:35.7. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 20.9 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're 8th. Your last lap time was a 1:35.9. Okay, the underbody's taken some damage. You might start to notice it soon. Russell behind. Our gap behind is 13.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 13 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:35.6. The underbody's taken a little damage, just watch out for it. Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment, just be careful. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, the gap behind is 12.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 15 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:35.4. Gap to your teammate behind is 19.7 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. They're currently 5th. Your last lap time was a 1:35.1. They're 8th, and the gap is 27.3 seconds. Time last lap was a 1:35.9. And the gap behind us is 13.2 seconds. Understood, copy that. Okay, copy that. Jax is in the pits. Jax is in the pits now. Russell behind. We're leaving the car behind by 13.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 16 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap was a 1:35.6. Alright, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy. Pit window will be open in 17 laps time. Pit window opens in 17 laps. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind. 12.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 17 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 35.7. Okay, car behind trailing us, 0.0 seconds. Russell behind. Okay, push, gap to the car behind, 0.0 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 19 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1:35.8. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 10th place, and the time last lap was a 1 minute 35.2. They're currently 5th. Okay, so the gap is 29.9 seconds. Your last lap time was a 1:36.4. Okay, Russell's behind you now. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 0.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 20 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. Time last lap was a 1 minute 35.9. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 9th place. And the time last lap was a 1:34.1. You only have to stop once now, one stop left. Pit window opens in 12 laps time, 12 laps. Caution! Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Okay, clear. Our gap behind is 0.5 seconds. Russell behind. Okay, the gap behind is 0.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 22 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 36.3. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 40.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're sitting in 7th. Time last lap was a 1:33.3. They're currently 5th. The difference is 31.2 seconds. And the time last lap was a 1 minute 36.8. going to start losing some tyre grip anytime now. Okay, one stop to go, just one stop left in this strategy. Okay, your pit window opens in 9 laps time. Okay, the underbody's taken some damage. You might start to notice it soon. Tyre condition still looking good. That's Hamilton behind, and the gap behind us is 22.8 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 25 laps on their tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:36.2. Gap to your teammate behind is 36.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Time last lap was a 1:33.2. They're in fourth, and so the difference is 34.7 seconds. And the time last lap was a 1:37.0. Hamilton behind you now. We're leading the car behind by 24.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. They've done 26 laps on those tyres. We think they've got one more stop. Your last lap time was a 1:36.9. Russell has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. Car behind you is Jacques. Okay, gap to the car behind. 34.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old now. Time last lap was a 1:33.8. Alright, we'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in this strategy. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. Russell has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. Here's some information on Russell for you. They've got an issue with their car, they're going to be slow. You only have to stop once now, one stop left. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. And that's Jacques behind. Okay, car behind trailing us, 34.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums, and the time last lap was a 1:33.8. They're in 9th place. Your last lap time was a 1:35.0. Approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. We expect you'll be noticing a bit of grip loss in the tyres around now, so just be careful. Now we're boxing this lap. Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 34.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 2nd. Time last lap was a 1:34.2. They're in 9th place, and the time last lap was a 1:34.6. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Repeat that, I've got some interference here. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Car behind you is Jacques. Okay, push, gap to the car behind. 30.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, 18 laps to go. Gap to your teammate behind is 10.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in second. Your last lap time was a 1 minute 34.1. our teammate by 12.6 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in second. Time last lap was a 1:34.1. Position, front of the pack, and that's Jack's behind. Okay, so the gap to the car behind is 0.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Car behind you is Jack's. Our gap behind is 0.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've done 22 laps on those tyres, and the time last lap was a 1:34.3. Gap to your teammate behind is 18.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in second. Your last lap time was a 1:34.2. Fantastic over the radio. Say it again. Say that again. We're having trouble receiving you. You're leading the pack. That's P1. And that's Jax behind. Okay, the gap behind is 25.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. Okay, so that's 17 laps of fuel remaining. Car behind you is Jax, and the gap behind us is 31.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. Time last lap was a 1 minute 35.0. Okay, we've got 12 laps of fuel remaining. We're in first position, front of the pack, and that's Jack's behind. We're leading the car behind by 35.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. And that's 8 laps of fuel remaining. They're leading our teammate by 42.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in second, and the time last lap was a 1:34.7. They're eighth. Your last lap time was a 1:35.4. Green flag. No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Car behind you is Jacques. They're on old mediums. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the British Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. A much-deserved victory and a brilliant performance from them all. So let's review the drivers' standings. This result narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to give it to Phoenix.
Let's move on to the constructors. The owner-drivers team moved to the top of the table. Well, That certainly was an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.